Hard to believe it's been a year, but look at that. 2025 Africa Twin Adventure Sports ES. That tri-colorway. What a machine. So let's hop on the old Africa Twin and discuss about 1 year. We're up on this awesome road up here in the northeast Georgia mountains. It's supposed to be a nice day, so let's hop on and see what we can do. Now, first thing with this bike, everybody says it's so tall, and it is tall, but it is so easy to get off the side stand. I am in first gear because I'm on a hill here, but let's start it. Fuel that pump, turn the fuel pump on. Easy peasy start. Screen will come up. Now, people do complain that it takes too long to get going. I mean, it's like 10 seconds, so it's not a big deal. You can see it says a toasty 105 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't think it's that hot yet, but it's in the 90s, and it's early morning. Yeah, that's the way we go. So, hard to believe it's been a year already with the Africa Twin Adventure Sports ES, but it has, and it's been a great one. When I set out to buy this bike, I was looking for something that would mimic a traditional bagger, because I just didn't want a big bagger. I wasn't in the mood. You know, I've ridden all the big baggers. They're great bikes, don't get me wrong, but just wanted something different that could crush miles comfortably, have a lot of cargo, be super utilitarian, nimble, and this checked all those boxes. So, if you were looking at the Africa Twin, you know, you might be just looking for an adventure bike, and this is one of the primos, but you also have that BMW GS, right? You have the Triumph Tiger, you have the Harley Pan America, and those are all great bikes. Some will say the Pan America had its issues with the fuel pump, but I do believe that's all been resolved with the later models, and haven't heard anything since. But the reason I think the Africa Twin is a winner, those are all great bikes. The price point of this bike, the ES, the ADV, the Africa Twin Adventure Sports with the electronic suspension, and this is the non-DCT, so this is manual, but you're going to find these in most places between $17,000 and $18,000. DCT might be a little more, I don't know how much, maybe $800. And the base model of this bike is $16,000. So for the value that you get for the price point, I think this is just an absolute home run. The GS base is going to be in at like $20,500, $21,000. But as you get up and add features and all the packages they have, you know, and you get into the GSA, which is their premium version, you could be north of 25, 28. So, you know, not inexpensive, but again, great bike. Just depends on what you're looking to spend. Now here's just a typical twisty mountain windy road, and one of the things that I like most about this Africa Twin, I'm going to pull over because this guy is like riding right up my butt in his Honda Civic Fast and Furious package. Not in the mood for that today. In any event, One of the things that I absolutely love about this bike is how supremely easy it is to ride. And what do I mean by that? I've ridden a lot of bikes. How do I say it? This is just, it's confidence inspiring. It's, even though it's tall, it's 553 pounds, which is not heavy, but it's so well engineered and the weight is so well distributed. Center of gravity is lower, even though it has a 6.5 gallon tank, which is awesome. So you can crush miles, you know, conservatively 300 miles to a tank, which is phenomenal if you are touring. But it's just so easy to ride. It's nimble, it's agile. This is the easiest bike that I've ever ridden. It's just, the steering is super light, the clutch pull is so simple, it's so light, the brakes are awesome, and it just kind of leans in and glides out. You know, I don't feel like I'm fighting or putting any of this crazy input into the bars to make it turn. It just goes with minimal input from me. That's weird. It's just a great bike. You know, and then we have that parallel twin 1084cc Honda, right? Steady Eddie, tried and true Honda reliability. Cost of maintenance, service intervals, you're looking at suggested 8,000 miles. So again, for that price point, man, this is pretty hard to beat. Now, this does have off-road capability. However, if you are off-roading it, I do not off-road this. I have a specific smaller dual sport for that with the Royal Enfield Himalayan 411. I'll beat that $6,000 bike up all day and drop it a million times. I don't want to do that with this. But you would actually probably go for the base model of this anyway, which is that $16,000 bike that has the 21-inch front wheel and is more ground clearance and more oriented for off-road, whereas this has the 19-inch front wheel. And Honda actually made this into basically what everyone used it for and never admitted it, a road touring bike, just like the GS. I don't know how many people take their GSs off-road, but it's not much, and I don't mean a dirt path to Starbucks. How about that, Mr. GS? Joke, joke, joke. But most people are riding those big miles cross-country. So Honda finally got smart and said, you know what? Let's put the 19-inch front wheel on it, make it more road-oriented, and see what happens, and they nailed it. I mean, this bike, a non-traditional bagger that I could ride from New York to LA with no problems. And I'll pull over up here just to show you. I added the Givi Alaska Trekker 36-liter hard cases on this. The amount of cargo space on this is phenomenal. And if that's not enough, you can add the top case, which is super deep. And I mean, you could go for a 30-day motorcycle adventure and have plenty of luggage. So we're rolling up here. I know there's always the state troopers up here. There's been a lot of accidents up here this summer. 99% of them speed related. And I believe there was 2 fatalities this summer. So they have heavily increased the patrol in this area. Just gotta slow down, ride your ride. Look at that. So the Africa Twin has definitely checked all the boxes for my expectation, what I was looking for, but where it exceeded the expectation was, you know, hearing everyone say it's such a tall bike. I thought it might be a little more difficult to ride. I am just, look at that, right? Totally stunned at how easy it is. So that is an awesome surprise for me. So we're coming up here on Suchess, Georgia, in the infamous campground, motorcycle campground, Two Wheels of Suchess, right here on your left. Got a lot of guys already having their coffees. So there's the Givi Trekker bag, right? With the Givi rack system. And these are awesome. So waterproof, lock cover, twist, super good latch. And how these open, look at that. This is the best latch system ever because you have full access, nothing falls out. You got all your stuff. I have a bag here, but look, see how deep? Tremendous cargo. Latch back up, lock, in and good. And they look awesome on this bike. And like I said, on this back rack, which comes stock, you can bolt the big old top case to it and have absolutely plenty of cargo. So like I said, 19-inch front wheel. I have the Givi engine bars. I put the Givi engine guards on. I put these nice CNC pegs on, just for touch. Comes with a center stand. How awesome is that? And I changed out the windscreen. This is the National Cycle V-Stream, the short tinted version. I like it for the look. If I was doing a cross country, I'd put the medium on just so the wind would go up over my head, but that's perfect for what I do. And you know, like I said, the Honda reliability. These come with the Bridgestone Battle Axe A41s. Finding them pretty good so far. So the bike's just, it's an absolute gem of a bike. Now, let's get on here and talk about all the dash. So if you turn the key on, let's let it fire up. Now this is going to be filtering because of the action cam, the refresh rate. But, you know, with this joystick right here, we have so many doodads and availabilities to go through our screen, which we have tour mode, which we can control the power to the bike, the engine braking, the traction control, the suspension. I have the ABS on, so it has an on and off-road setting. And then your suspension, depending on what mode you're in, you know, you can go, if you switch here, right, you go user, it'll go urban, and when you change the modes, it changes all of these settings that are preset. So this took the suspension to medium, it changed the power, changed the engine braking, changed the traction control. Same with gravel mode, right? Easy. One little flip of the switch, it dumbed down the power, enhanced the engine braking, reduced the traction control, turned the ABS off, and gave you soft suspension, which is what you would want for your off-road. But if you don't like that, you can go to off-road. And off-road really changes everything. Gives you 3/4 power, 3/4 traction control, and super cushy suspension. User 1 and User 2 are rider configurable, so you can customize those to whatever you like. I keep it in tour mode since I ride on the road, and it's been really, really good for what I need. So, absolutely awesome to have those features on a sub 20K bike. I did add the TomTom 550 motorcycle rider. I've had this 7 years. I've never had a problem with it. It's been reliable as ever. I also do use Garmin, but this one I just transferred over. No reason to replace it because it's been flawless. So, all right, let's hop back on and discuss some other great things about this bike. LEDs all around. I love the gold accents with the forks and the rims and the handlebars. Super nice. You have auxiliary power. Here's a USB right here. Under here. Here's a power outlet here. Right? So you have that. USB if you do your phone on the bars or anything else you want to charge. I mean, just, it's got everything you need. Heated grips, cruise control. The only thing this bike didn't come with is a heated seat. Now other, the Triumph Tiger and I believe the BMW do, but the price point's higher, and for $800 you can just get an aftermarket seat, put it on, and you have everything they have. So it just comes down to preference, and those are good bikes, but the Africa Twin is just iconic. I expected it to be great. And it has exceeded my expectations. So the question is, would I buy it again? That is a resounding capital Y-E-S. So 1 year, the Africa Twin Adventure Sports ES 2025 version. Let me know your thoughts. I support this bike, the purchase, and I would buy it again all day long. There is zero question to how good, capable, reliable this bike is. Agile, sporty, aesthetically pleasing, punchy, fuel efficient. Any more superlatives that you want to insert here, feel free to do so in the comments below, because that's how good this bike is. So thanks for watching, and don't forget,